Welcome to Storied Audio. I used to think heartbreak was loud, that it came with shouting, slammed doors, dramatic endings. But when Nicole pulled away from me, it was quiet. A slow drift, a soft unraveling. I kept trying to stitch things back together, suggesting date nights, asking if she was okay, trying to be more present. But she always seemed somewhere else. Somewhere brighter. Somewhere I couldn't reach. I'm not flashy. I'm not the guy who lights up a room. I'm the one who listens, who thinks before speaking, who finds comfort in the steady things. Nicole wanted fireworks. I was a candle. Her family, though they saw me. Her parents treated me like a son. And Heather understood me in ways I didn't realize mattered until much later. At every family dinner, I found myself talking to Heather more than anyone else. Not intentionally. It just happened. She asked about my work and actually listened. She laughed at my dry humor. She didn't rush conversations or check her phone every few minutes. She was present. Nicole would sometimes glance over at us, her expression unreadable. I didn't think much of it then. I should have. Heather and I shared the same kind of quiet, the same appreciation for small things, good coffee, rainy mornings, comfortable silences. She didn't need me to be anything but myself. I never crossed a line. I loved Nicole. But sometimes, when Heather smiled at something I said, I felt a warmth I didn't know how to name. The night Nicole told me she'd met someone else, I felt something inside me crack. She sat far away from me, twisting her fingers like she was bracing for impact. I met someone, she said. I'm breaking up with you. I asked if she'd been seeing him already. She said no. I believed her. I still do. But believing her didn't make it hurt less. I wished her well. I meant it. Even though it felt like my chest was splitting open. I walked out of her apartment feeling hollow, like I'd been emptied out. The knock on my door. Her parents called days later, apologizing, telling me I'd always be part of their family. Their kindness made the ache sharper. Then came the knock. Heather stood there holding a pizza box, her expression soft and a little nervous. Want some company? She asked. I let her in. We talked for hours about Nicole, about heartbreak, about work, about how strange it felt to lose someone who wasn't supposed to be lost. She didn't try to fix anything. She didn't tell me to move on. She just listened. She was gentle in a way I didn't realize I needed. At one point, she reached for my hand. I know this would be messy, she said. And it's probably too soon. But when you're ready, if you're interested, I have feelings for you. She left later that night. And I sat awake for hours, staring at the ceiling. That warmth I'd felt around her, it wasn't new. It had been there for years. I just never let myself see it. It wasn't a lightning bolt. It wasn't sudden. It was a slow, steady unfolding. I remembered the way Heather always asked how I was doing and actually cared about the answer. The way she noticed when I was quiet and didn't push me to talk. The way she laughed with her whole face. The way she made me feel seen. I realized I had always felt something for her. I just buried it because loving Nicole was supposed to be the right thing. But Heather, she felt like home. A week later, I called her and asked her out. She sounded surprised, then relieved, then happy in a way that made my chest tighten. That night, sitting across from her, I felt peace. Real peace. The kind that settles into your bones. That's when I knew. As the weeks passed, Heather and I grew closer in ways that felt natural. Inevitable even. She'd come over after work with takeout, and we'd sit on the couch talking about everything and nothing. She'd tell me about her day, her students, her frustrations, her hopes. I found myself opening up to her in ways I never had with Nicole. Not because Nicole didn't care, but because Heather made it easy. She remembered the little things, my favorite tea, the way I liked my eggs, the fact that I hated loud bars but loved quiet bookstores. She'd bring me books she thought I'd like, and she was always right. She'd send me songs that matched my mood without me having to say a word. One night, we sat on my balcony watching the city lights flicker. She leaned her head on my shoulder, and I felt something settle inside me. A certainty, a calm, a sense of belonging I hadn't felt in years. I realized then that I didn't just care for her. I loved her. Not in a rushed, desperate way. Not in a way that tried to fill a void. I loved her because she saw me, because she chose me, because she made the world feel softer. When Heather told her parents, they were happy for us. But they knew Nicole wouldn't be. By then, Nicole had already broken up with the exciting new guy. She called me, her voice trembling, asking if we could try again. I told her gently that I was dating Heather. She hung up. Later, she stormed into her parents' house, shouting accusations, cheating, betrayal, disloyalty. Her parents didn't budge. They told her she had let me go, coldly, carelessly. Heather had done nothing wrong. Neither had I. Nicole's anger cracked into tears. She knew they were right. She had wanted fireworks, and she got burned. She moved to another city within a month. She couldn't stand to see her sister with the man she had thrown away. I didn't hate her. I didn't resent her. But I didn't miss her either. Family dinners became peaceful again. Heather's hand always found mine under the table. Her parents smiled at us with a kind of relieved joy. Heather moved in with me months later. She brought warmth into my apartment, plants, soft blankets, laughter. She filled the quiet spaces without overwhelming them. I never expected to fall in love with her. I never expected her to fall in love with me. But love doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes quietly, like a soft knock on your door with a pizza box and a gentle smile. Sometimes it's the person who was standing beside you all along. Subscribe to the channel for more audio stories.